and welcome again to Congelados podcast. My name is Benjamin Navia, and today we have the pleasure of talking with three guests. Say hello to Elian Cortez,
Hi.
El Menojofre,
Oh my god.
Hello.
and Tomás Albornoz.
Wow.
What's up, Benja? It's a pleasure to be here.
And I'm glad to get all of you here.
So, Benja, what is the theme of this episode?
I'm glad you asked. The theme of this episode is very heavy. Did you know that in Curicó at least 29 Venezuelan and Haitians were laboral abused?
Really? That's crazy.
Oh, I know that case. Well, at least 20 contracting companies that were denounced from laboral abuse. And curiously, all these companies were located in the same office.
What's that office named? Soluciones Agrícolas?
You're right. And I'm going to tell you the case of Paola Gonzalez, a Venezuelan immigrant who worked in an agricultural company.
Splendid.
When she arrived in Chile in the middle of 2018, specifically in Curicó, she meets Manuel Castillo, the employer of Soluciones Agrícolas, who promised a salary of 600,000 pesos.
That's a lot if we win, and the minimum wage at the time was 288,000.
Yeah, and in fact, that's what Manuel finally paid here. But don't get ahead of me.
Sorry.
In addition to this, the company promised room and board, which was a dream for Paola and the other immigrants.
Wait a minute. Other immigrants?
Yeah, as I remember, the company only hired immigrants, Asians and Venezuelans, who, due to the lack of knowledge, were susceptible to Manuel's lies.
Exactly. Paola was very excited. But what awaited here was just headache. Well, the job was simple. Paola had to harvest blueberries in different regions, starting in September.
Too good to be true.
Yes, they will be housed in cabins and feed. The company promised that in middle of 2019, they will become a cooperative, which will allow them to hire more immigrants.
But weren't there 20 companies?
Yes, but no. When Paula was going to sign the contract, she realized that all these companies had different names.
Perhaps to hide their crimes.
Probably. And also, in the same contract, it says that she will be paid the minimum salary, not 600,000 pesos.
That's nothing. Other immigrants were even promised with 1 million pesos, and many ones asked the employer for it, as they said that was to pay less taxes.
Yes, some of them sagging up, among them, Paola. When the immigrants arrive, they realize they will be living in 3-bedroom house for 14 people, with only one bathroom.
How horrible. I can imagine the fights to use it.
Also, the sanitary conditions were terrible. Imagine that, in a bedroom for 14 people.
And if that's what the rest was like, I can't imagine what the work was like.
Totally horrible. They had longer hours than the contract state, and no overtime pay.
And all that under the hard sun, picking blueberries.
Yes. Now imagine being promised a bonus of 430 pesos per kilo after having harvested 2 tons.
Sounds good.
Alien.
Elian, how many kilos do you think a person collects per day?
I don't know. 200?
Alien. To reach that goal, he had to collect 85 kilos per day. And with the greedy effort, they only collect 50 kilos.
Oh, I see.
Well. Now back to Paola.
Well, maybe the accommodation was bad. The work was bad. But how was the fun?
Breakfast was tea and bread.
And bread? No bread with cheese or...
No, only bread.
And lunch?
The food wasn't served, but they were given ingredients to cook themselves.
Not so bad if it was free.
For 1 week, they were given 1 onion and 2 potatoes.
You left me speechless.
Well, Paola saw how his mates suffered treats. He saw how a Haitian woman broke his leg harvesting and was still forced to work.
Everyone was forced to work?
Yes, even on Sundays, and they couldn't leave work.
Suddenly, the company did not offer works for weeks. So Paola and the other immigrants weren't paid during this period, when the blame was entirely on the employer.
Well, what did Paula do to get out of this situation?
When it was time to receive the payment, Paola realized that once again the payment did not correspond. So decided to gather all of her colleagues to file a complaint
Complaint to where?
to the labor inspector or Inspección del Trabajo.
After that, Manuel, the employer, fired all those who signed the complaint.
And within a month, the workers were called together and told that the company had gone bankrupt.
And you know the worst part?
What?
What?
Well, I exaggerated. It's not the worst part, but after a few days, the office disappeared as if nothing had happened. Overnight, all the things were gone. Even the secretary didn't know what happened.
And all of that came after a series of liberal abuse claims, from 7 millions to 17 millions.
Oh, it's a truly horrible case. But what do you mean by laboral abuse?
Actually, laboral abuse is any conduct of physical, psychological aggression, or harassment that has a effect or undermining, mistreating, humiliating, threatening, or harming your employment status or employment opportunities.
And in summary, what labor abuse did the company commit?
The company didn't comply with sanitary standards, didn't pay overtime, didn't pay salaries, threatened it with loss of immigration status, and, well, there are many.
It's a topic that really makes you reflect on our privilege. It is horrible that the same thing is still happening as it did 100 years ago.
About that, this case reminds us that although Chile has had a solid legal framework since 1931, when the labor code was enacted, but effective enforcement mechanisms are still lagging.
Yeah, it's essential to improve oversight and protect workers who report abuse.
Yes, unfortunately, no law was created after this event.
Anyway, it's difficult. If we think it was a mixture of many abuse, I feel that the problem here is in the lack of information available to the immigrants.
Yes, I agree. It's impossible to avoid the emergence of losers like the employers, and the only way to avoid them is knowing the laws.
Of course, although the law establishes a 44-hour workday and overtime pay, many companies do not comply. The main challenge today is to make these laws known to the immigrants.
I think we are on the same mind. Thanks you to all West, and thanks you to you for listening. See you on the next episode of Congelados, and we wait for you on the next chapter. Goodbye.
Bye.
Say goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.